I grew up in a family where my dad was an entrepreneur for most of his life, and so was his brothers and sisters. And I just grew up in that environment where they were starting their own businesses, whether it might be like a corner deli or something a little bit more technical. So I was introduced to that at a very young age, but I kind of put that aside um, until after college and during college, where I had the chance to experiment with some of my other hobbies. Yeah, so my first business um, was it was called List of Books, and it was a platform sort of like Craigslist where users are exchanging textbooks only with that specific college. So we were at Temple University, and it was we started it with 4 or 5 of my roommates. We bought a domain, got the website up, allowed college students to post their books. So we were cutting out the middleman, and we had no shipping. So it allowed the college students to just meet up on campus. Like there was no transaction on our website. It was just like a Craigslist where customers or our college students were exchanging textbooks. Yeah, so after a couple exchanges and a couple people on there, we kind of just let that go, and it was because we found some errors in how are we going to be generating revenue, and we didn't want to get into the transaction space. So and we realized people are only exchanging textbooks twice a year, and that's the beginning of the 2 semesters. So there isn't enough traffic to the site that you're able to monetize. Before committing to Byte full time, I was a information security consultant, and that required a lot of traveling. And I was on a project in New York City, Manhattan, for 3 months, and I lived in Philadelphia. So I would go there, Sunday night or Monday morning, and I'll stay there until Friday or Thursday night. So that required me to eat out every single meal. And in New York City, you're just surrounded by all these restaurants and corner stores, delis, pizza places, and trying to figure out which place is good was very difficult. So I had to look through all these super long reviews on some other restaurant review websites out there or mobile apps that are out there, and you had to read through the super long novel of a person talking about some things that were pretty irrelevant, and having to do that 3 times a day got really exhausting. So it just came to me like, why aren't we breaking down restaurants dish by dish, and why isn't there a picture associated with every single review? Our first account, so our revenue model is based off of partnering up with restaurants to advertise through us. And one of the ways that we thought about marketing was to get users, not customers, was having table tents and stickers at the front door saying, "Hey, check out Byte, download Byte." So just through that, we were able to build a lot of relationships with restaurant owners, and they're like, "Oh, like why? What's this sticker for? What's this table tent for?" And just through that conversation, we were able to just start the relationship and build a relationship to the point where like, okay, like how do I get involved? Like, is there a way that I could post stuff? And then we would like, hey, we have these sponsored posts. We have a creative film team that comes in, shoots your video for you, quick, action-packed 5-second videos, and that could get posted onto our app. And just through that, we were able to, it just came naturally, just talking and building a relationship with the restaurants. Yeah, so just through going door to door, me and my one co-founder, David, 6 hours out of the day, most of the day, we're just going door to door to restaurants, throughout the city, Center City, Fishtown, Northern Liberties, University City. So just going door to door to every restaurant saying, hey, can we put these stickers up? Hey, can we get your support? Just for doing that for, a couple of days, we were able to hit, hundreds of restaurants that are interested in potentially being our customer, and they would allow us to put up our marketing material up to get users. Yeah, so the biggest challenge is a lot of restaurant owners, restaurant managers, they're approached, so often with, like it's either a new delivery service, a new app, a new, POS system. So they're constantly salespeople just go to them constantly, and to the point where the owner, if you ask the owner like, hey, is the owner around? Is the manager around? The owner would be like, hey, no, I don't think the owner's around today. And then you find out later like that's the actual owner. And the reason why he or she is doing that is because so many people come up to them trying to sell them whatever, and yeah, so trying to get past that barrier that is up because so many people are trying to contact them. That's the most difficult part. But if you just go there, not really selling anything, we're just saying, hey, we just want to just get our name out there, and we're doing that through these marketing material. Then they're a little bit more open, and that kind of opens the door for you to get the relationship started. Yeah, so a challenge that we had was organization. So you're interacting with so many restaurants and different restaurant employees and different locations, and trying to keep track of, okay, that manager's name was Mike, the owner name was Sally, like how, just being able to track that and saying like, okay, this restaurant is interested in potentially being having a video shot, and this restaurant is only interested in having the table tents up, and just having to track that is pretty difficult, especially because when you're going door to door, all you have is the marketing material, your phone. So right now we were just texting it to each other back and forth, and that allowed us, me and David, it allowed us to say like, okay, like I hit that restaurant up, don't hit it, don't go in there, and yeah. So at the end of the day or at the end of the week, we compile that and put it into HubSpot. Yeah, I think my parents. Yeah, so my parents are first generation immigrants from Korea. Um, just the struggles that they faced and the perseverance that they showed and how hard they work still today is incredible. And they were actually one of the first. They were the first investor, and they covered a big portion of the development cost, actually all of the development costs, and that's a huge number, and that's a huge amount. And seeing them like, yeah, just putting in their work and constantly always encouraging me to do what I like and do what I love and my passion, and seeing them work in and day out to provide a better life and better opportunity for me and my sister. So yeah, it's definitely my parents. It's really incredible, what they do. First starting out, I would say do something you're interested in, and just like an example is, I know a lot of people that are into bodybuilding and strength training, and they out of that they see like, hey, like meal prep is a pain to do every single week. So I know this one guy, he's really interested in like strength training, and then he said, hey, why don't I just do the meal prep every week for people and see how many people are willing to buy and pay for my service. So I think it's harder to enter a space or enter a industry that you're not really interested in or passionate about, and it just naturally happens. And I guess the most important part is figure out like what you like to do and figure out your passion, whether it might be music, sports, weightlifting, whatever it is. Just through that you're able to see opportunities that people out of that space or industry can't really see, and you're able to figure out ways that you're able to create a business out of it. 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel. That book really just like opened my eyes to possibilities and the way that we think today as a society and ways that you possibly could innovate. I think it would be rapping. Yeah. I think rappers, like I love hip hop. I grew up listening to like Kanye West, and he's one of like my idols. Inspiration is, like being a rapper is probably the coolest coolest thing you could possibly be. Is like everybody wants to be around you.
It's true.
Yeah, it's an art. It's you're making music, so like you're doing what you like, and living a lifestyle that's pretty glamorous if you're successful. So being famous or being a rapper would be be really cool.
So